What would a Henry Cejudo return look like? And what would that look like, right? I mean, the first thing we'd have to determine is what weight class. Henry gave a clue and said 35. The clue was because he called out Aljo and Jan. Not Aljo or Jan. When I talked to you guys about this last, I said I assume that's or no. He both. And, he made it funny and he made it a little satirical. So I'll fight them both in the same night type thing. But it was clear that he wants to fight them both. Okay. One thing we can at least take away is he's talking 135 pounds. He also is not guaranteed to walk right into a title shot there. Right? I don't know that if Henry comes back, somehow him being gone makes up for all the great deeds that Sandhagen did. And it would seem like there would be an argument to meet him there at the door. He might win this argument, but the argument to meet him at the door of I am a former champion and I am back, therefore I will take my title shot is the same one that TJ would be making. Go, wait a minute, I'm a champ and I'm back. Where's my title shot? So those boys could argue that and you'd find out, but I am of the mind that if Henry comes back, he's coming back as a contender. Unless he gets some kind of a great blessing by whoever the champion is, and elevates. And by the way, Sterling called him out. It just fell very flat. But Henry announcing his return fell flat. I don't think that's because, by the way, please don't mistake the two. I don't believe that Henry announcing his return bombed in terms of the world of clicks and media and headlines because people aren't interested. I think it bombed because people didn't know he meant it. That was my interpretation. That was even my first question. Wait, is he serious? Because that would change things. Henry, are you coming back? If you're coming back, let's blow it up. Let's do something with this. Who do you want to do? Can you be in shape by? Let's answer a few questions. Are you in the USADA pool, of which I don't believe he ever left, so you're eligible to come back right now? Does Dana White know? Have you made contact with the office? Or did you just make contact through the media? I mean, just have a few questions to find out where he is in training and return. And by the way, Henry's answer may shock everybody. Henry may want to be a contender. He may say, I'm going to come back and I'm going to dip my toe in this first. I'm going to do a 3-round fight. It's exactly what Dominic Cruz did. Dominic Cruz had that long laugh. A lot of people forget this happened because Dominic beat a guy in 22 seconds. But he beat that guy in 22 seconds before he stepped into a 5-round atmosphere. So Henry might surprise you with what he wants to do. I've been surprised and baffled even by every single thing that Henry Cejudo has done since UFC 249, which represents his last contest and represents the night that he announced Triple C was out in the first place. And I think if you were to look at 135 and Henry were to come back, first, I think it'd be a very smart move to consider coming back as a contender. If you could slide in, I mean, if there's anything where, Sterling called him out and they could get some back and forth, I think you could really have some fun there. I believe that Jan has always wanted a piece of Cejudo, but Jan has also been very determined to get a piece of Dillashaw to prove that he is the true champion. So just on the argument of why Jan wanted Dillashaw to prove to the world I can actually beat him, I think that would have to extend to Cejudo. So the question does become, well, who do you put Henry with? And Henry versus Sandhagen, by the way, for me would maybe be the least compelling. It would certainly prove some stuff by Sandhagen, who openly has come out and said, I've had some problems with wrestlers in the past. That would solve it. If you don't have a problem with Henry, you no longer have a problem with wrestlers. But there's something about that it would feel off to me. It would feel as though to bring Henry in to possibly derail Corey, who's done everything right for a period. I don't know if I love that idea. I don't know if I love it. I'm open to hearing it, but we're just thinking out loud right now. What would a Cejudo return look like? And by the way, why is he choosing 135? For a moment in time there, he was saying I would only return to be champ to go against Volkanovski. That was a talk for a period of time. Now, Henry's having fun. That's also one of the reasons that I think the return talk fell so flat is that people don't know when Henry's having fun as opposed to when Henry's making a statement. And in all fairness, I'm a bit of a mark. I'm falling for it a little bit too, possibly. I'm only falling for it and believing it's true because every single thing that Henry said, even if I found that it was for gamesmanship, all turned out to be true. So I'm going to have to ride that wave until he throws us a curveball, and then I can go back to, oh, okay, we don't know. Every single thing Henry said that people thought was going to be a spoof or going to be a swerve or going to be some kind of a negotiation or be some kind of a media ploy, he did them all. They all turned out to be true. So I got to take him at his word that Triple C's back. Let's see where it goes. I don't hate the idea. And I hope Henry doesn't hate the idea of coming back as a contender. Follow the Dominic Cruz path. Come back, dip your toe, then jump into 5 rounds. It's just one thought. One thought. Let's see where it goes.